So there was this married couple, and they had this great tradition. Every morning they ate breakfast together, and they had a breakfast nook, and they had this beautiful window that looked out of their backyard, and they could also see in their neighbor's backyard. So nobody left this neighborhood by choice. It was only when they moved on to the other side. And so they had a new neighbor that moved in because they had to sell the house. And the husband was a little nervous because they loved the couple that lived next door for all these years. And like, who's this person living next door? And what are they going to be like? And so this first morning they come down, wife's already there eating breakfast, and the husband's there, and he has that spoonful of Cheerios right in his mouth, and he looks out into the neighbor's backyard, and she's there with a laundry basket, and she's hanging her laundry, and all the laundry on the line is filthy. It's dirty. And he looks at his wife and says, "Honey, why is she hanging up dirty clothes? That makes no sense. That's stupid. Who is she?" And the wife doesn't say anything. Second morning, he comes down. He thinks, well, I don't know, who knows? Maybe there was a mistake. But there she is doing the same thing. She's hanging up dirty clothes. Third day, same thing. Fourth day, same thing. Fifth day, it's a Friday, and he is losing his you-know-what, and he's like, I might have to buy her a washing machine? Why is she hanging up dirty clothes? That makes no sense. Who is this weirdo living next door to us? Wife says nothing. Women are patient. Sixth day, which is a Saturday, and you know that feeling when you're resigned? You're kind of slumped over. He comes down, he just mumbles to his wife a greeting, and he's pouring his Cheerios, and he can't help it. He finally looks up, and he's like, oh my gosh, honey, oh my gosh, the clothes are clean. She's finally hanging up clean clothes. What do you think happened? The wife looks at this person that she loves and takes a deep breath and says, I washed the window. I washed the window. Have you ever had a dirty window? Has your perspective, has your view of life ever been altered? I know mine has. In fact, it was so filthy 14 years ago on August 31st, 2011, it was like a paper towel roll. And the only thing I could see was the bridge just down the road from us. That bridge that stands 730 feet above the North Fork of the American River. And I made my way to the center of that bridge, bent over, looked at the North Fork of the American River, already knew it was going to take me 7.5 seconds to hit the water. But God had a different plan. God sent a window washer, dressed as a police officer, as a sheriff's deputy. And he helped clean that window of mine, that perspective of mine, just enough where I could stand up, take a step back, and then ultimately go with him. And then it was the EMT, Tom, in the back, who also helped clean the window a little bit. And then ultimately I went to the PUF, which I thought, what is the PUF? Well, the PUF, of course, is Kirby Hills, the psychiatric health facility, where I would be there for the next 15 life-changing days, and began what I didn't realize at the time was a journey away from mental hellness and into the experience of our birthright. We don't have to do anything to earn mental health. We are given that. But situations, disconnection, isolation, all different things can move us away from that. And it's been 14 years. And at one point, some 10 years ago, God got me to really what truly is the greatest psychiatric, psychological wellness, mental health facility in the country, Beautiful Minds. And I have taken part of every possible, with the exception of TMS, I've taken part of every possible program that they have. And who you see here now is a completely different human being than the person 14 years ago. And now God has given me this incredible gift to travel, quite frankly, all over the world. and share my story. And my platform, because I kind of stole it, is all about connection. That connection creates hope, and hope saves lives. And what I will tell you is that there is no place in the world like Beautiful Minds. I have seen other places, and there are other places that are really good, but they're not of this caliber. They're not of this category. They're not of this level of excellence and brilliance and commitment and everything else. And I'm still a patient. I still see this amazing man in the front row who I love with all my heart and soul, who, yes, he's my doctor, but he's also my brother. We need to expand this. There are people suffering in droves. They are everywhere, and they need what we are so blessed to have here. And it really is, as Thad, as Neil, as Deb, as Dr. Binus said, it's all about this thing called connection. You know, what's interesting is as I was preparing for tonight and listening to the amazing souls who spoke before me, is that while the officer and EMT and even at Kirby Hills, they actually washed the window for me. But at Beautiful Minds, it was like, okay, let me teach you, me in this case, how to wash my own window. Because I had totally lost hope. And I don't believe you can live without hope. I don't think you can. And I believe that every single act of connection creates this thing called hope. And to put it in specific terms, I quote Brene Brown. And she says this: I define connection as the energy that exists between people when they feel seen, when they feel heard, when they feel valued, when they can give and receive without judgment, and they derive strength and sustenance from the relationship. That's exactly when every one of us who has been a patient, when we have gone into Beautiful Minds, that's exactly what we get. And then we have this experience of this thing called hope. And the greatest, it's not a definition, it's a quotation. And my beloved niece, Brooke, who helps me with things, and she says, oh my gosh, I got this great quote about hope. And I'm like, okay, well, who's it from? It's from Matthew, and he's on Twitter, and he likes cats. I'm like, okay, so my expectation is relatively low at this point. I don't have a tattoo, but I might get this one. And here's why, in my belief, this is what saves lives. He says this: people tend to think of hope as this delicate, ephemeral thing made up of whispers and spider webs. It's not. Hope has dirt on her face, blood on her knuckles, the grit of cobblestones in her hair, and she just spit out a tooth as she rises for another go. That's hope. Beautiful Minds is a broker of hope. Dr. Daniel Binus has the fancy titles. He's a window washer. It's what he is. He is a window washer. My guy. I love this man. And here's the thing. It takes money. It does. And I have the honor to be the one to ask for money. To be the one to have each and every one of us, myself included, to look in our heart, into our soul, to ask ourselves the question, what way monetarily can we support this organization? Because we're not just helping a single person, we're helping person after person after person. We are doing God's will, and in this life experience, it takes cash. So I know there's a multiple of ways, including an envelope that you can leave something now. There's I'm sure QR codes and other things, but please, 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 and I am begging, because I know of no other organization that is more deserving to be funded so they can expand to do the selfless work of God. So thank you for considering my request. And remember, wash your windows.